And for the last time of the 2025 football season, football show presented by KG Law Cookies. You're in another unbranded sweatshirt. No better way to finish than with the signature James Costa random color sweatshirt. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, good, dude. The season's flown by, man.
It has, but we're here and we appreciate you guys. Obviously, can't do it without you. And even if it's just scrolling while you're on the old, toilet doing your thing, we appreciate any engagement you've given this show. I won't be so arrogant to say you've made us a part of your Sunday night. But look, we're here. I know we got a couple thousand people watching as always, so we appreciate that. Let's get to it. Let's do the 5 big things, brother, on what was anesthesia for football fans. I just want to warn people when, not if, when they go to an 18-game season and they add a second bye week for these teams, I want you to think what you're going to feel like when you get 2 or 3 weeks like this where barely any of these games mattered.
Sunday night better be phenomenal to make up for what was a blah, gray day for Week 18.
Even yesterday. We'll jump in. Let's do the Seattle-Tampa thing. You want to do Seattle first. Mm-hmm. I was so hopeful going into that game. I thought it was going to be a popcorn game. I thought we'd get some points, some action. Niners pretty much 5 first downs. Game was horrible. The question is this: Seattle, the 1 seed, the bye week, the home advantage with the 12s, contender or pretender, because there's still the boogeyman underneath your bed like Jason Voorhees with Sam Darnold. So which are they?
Well, you have to answer this first because you are famously not a Darnold guy. Seattle as a team does everything else A level. They run the ball, 2-headed monster. That defense, the front 4, but also the secondary. Mike, it looks like they're every bit as dangerous as anybody in the NFC, but it's not like Sam Darnold had to make any big plays in that game, and I still question what happens when he has to.
There's the key, and the problem is until he answers that question, I can't view it differently. Last night, I'm not going to make fun of him. I didn't think he did anything terrible, but it was the running game, and it was a great defensive performance. And it was a Niners team that I don't know, maybe all the injuries just caught up to them. Maybe they just couldn't dial it up one more time. I don't know. It was bizarre.
Like, I don't want to take away. Seattle went on the road in the division to secure the 1 seed and had game control, ball control, ran the ball at the end to ice it. At the same time, Darnold had a red zone 4th down that he missed the throw. He had a fumble earlier in the game that should have screwed him, but Kenneth Walker on a 3rd and 17 picks up 19 yards. Like, hey, man, they deserve to be the 1 seed. They earned the 1 seed, but it's a new season, and I learned that lesson the hard way last year with the Lions. Nothing is guaranteed or given to you. You start from 0.
They're vulnerable as long as they're taking on a team that is going to turn the game into something played in the high 20s. I don't trust Sam Darnold having to throw it 30-plus times. Number 2, you know what? I want to do something positive before we get into what I know is going to drive you insane, the proxy bowl. But AFC, Broncos, Patriots, I feel like they're a little bit of the Spider-Man meme. Obviously, I love Drake May, but do either of these teams feel like Super Bowl teams? That's my problem. I'm still leaning to the wild cards in the AFC. Broncos or Pats, if I forced you to pick one, who is it?
Oh, man, I think the Broncos defense is better. I think the Patriots quarterback is better. I lean Patriots.
Okay. And my problem with the Patriots, I just think when you're a young QB, I know there's outliers, so I'm sure we'll get some of the people in the chat with that. There's outliers to it, but I feel like you got to go and lose once before you can then rev it up and go.
And would it really surprise you if the Patriots, who played a historically soft schedule, get upended early?
No.
Because they're a young team that hasn't really played on this stage? Or Denver, differently, they did get a little taste last year, but Mike, I wouldn't be surprised if either of these teams get bounced in their first game.
Well, and that's the problem I have with Denver is still Bo Nix. There was a little phase there about a month ago. He started playing some good football. Last couple of weeks, early in the season, same deal.
So who is it out of the AFC? I'll give you this. The Bills are going to open with Jacksonville.
Yeah, and see right off the rip. Okay, if I said to you, we'll do a Tiger Woods in his prime Masters bet. You can have Tiger or the field. I'll give you the Bills and Texans or the field. Who do you take in the AFC?
I think I'd take Bills and Texans.
Yeah. And you know what? Watch, they're both going to be out next weekend. Okay. Let's go to the Proxy Bowl because nothing was more delicious than that atrocious division playing an atrocious game that because an atrocious team won, you still had to wait till Sunday to watch another atrocious game to dictate who gets in the NFC South. 8-9, Carolina's getting a home playoff game. We are not going to belabor it. We've said it. NFL's got to make a change. I don't care if you won your division. I'll let you in. You should not have a home game when you have that record. That's an embarrassment to a team like the Rams, etc.
But in a weird way, this was the perfect way to settle the South. The teams were so bad that the game today, where neither team played, they should have superimposed the logos underneath to show you who was rooting for who. Just a slop of a division. And of course, it comes down to a sloppy decision for who gets in. Yeah.
And again, Carolina didn't even take care of their own business.
Nope.
And then you got to sit there watching New Orleans and Atlanta. And by a side note, I can't help it. If there's like, I know there's only like 7 Atlanta fans on the planet. Maybe one of them's watching this show. Hold on to your ass, because I think Capri Pants is coming back. Raheem with the late season meaningless wins, and I hope you're ready to run it back with Kirk Cousins. What a disgusting franchise. Let's go to number 4. I want to go to Myles Garrett. Look, I think your perspective and your notes was spot bang on. I mean, this is a guy consistently in his career. They don't play with the lead. It reduces how much passing you even face in late game stuff. And all he did was break the NFL sack record. Yes, in a 17 game, not a 16 game. But Myles Garrett, for me, and I know I'm a little older than you, Myles Garrett could be in the discussion for the best defensive end I've ever seen. That includes Reggie White or Michael Strahan or anybody else you want to talk about. Lawrence Taylor was an edge. He was a stand-up 3-4 outside backer. I think that's different. Myles Garrett is a 3-down D-end. You can play him strong side, weak side. Put him on your side. Do whatever you want. But Jim, you have a question in here about Burrow. Go ahead.
Well, you watched the play, right? Did he pull a Favre? Did he give up?
No, I don't know. How about a guy's been hit 264 times this year? What do you want to say he did?
I don't want to definitively say. I want to ask the question sheepishly because I watched it and he went down awfully easy, Michael.
It is also week 18 and you've missed, 2/3 of your games the last couple of years. I don't know. In the end, his greatness is just ridiculous.
Yeah, my thought on it is this. He is going to end up with some gaudy career numbers. He'll likely win his second Defensive Player of the Year award this season. It's going to put him on a short list with some of the all-time greats. I believe he's now top 20 in sacks. You start to string together 3-4 more years like this, you'll fly up the leaderboard. Top 5 defensive player of all time. Can I say that?
I'm not mad at it. Some people might fight you. I just put the qualifier as defensive end. When you get into defensive player, then we're breaking down different positions. I'm not mad at it.
Fair. Let me just give you the list of guys who have won 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
All right.
Or more. Lawrence Taylor had 3. Aaron Donald had 3. J.J. Watt had 3.
Yeah.
Then you got Joe Green, Mike Singletary, Bruce Smith, Reggie White, and Ray Lewis. That's it. The number of guys with 2. And now you start stacking all-time records with it. Yeah, I think you can make the case.
I have no issue with it. Again, if you know what you should do what you do best. Go on the internet and fight people. I know you're a big fan of that.
Can't wait.
You want to intro number 5 because you have a note in here that is sickening. I'll respond to it. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to congratulate the New York Football Giants for winning not 1, but 2 consecutive games. We call it a win streak. And Mike, the stat for you, they are 8-30 in their last 38 games. But 4 of the 8 wins have been in week 17 or 18 when they're long eliminated from contention and only playing for draft positioning.
Mm-hmm. So I want to hearken. I'm used to this. I really like Drake May, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants loved Drake May, loved him. Well, they cost themselves Drake May because they did the same shit. They did the same shit. The same shit. They did it again.
So you don't know this.
We ended up with Malik Neighbors, who I'm fine with Malik Neighbors, but they wanted Drake May. They wanted Daniels. Jim, they've done this 3 times in the last 5 years. And the worst part, I don't want to hear anything from these feckless, bought and paid for, spineless, sing for your supper, end of the line, dead end job having motherfuckers. These beat writers who are going to sit there. Oh, it's a culture win. It's a big, they won it for Mr. Mara. Fuck you. There's no culture. The coach is fired. The GM is either gone now or next year. Half these players are gone. This isn't the Junction Boys. We're not running gassers to see who makes varsity. No fucking culture. Culture's dog shit. Culture your ass. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to put all this shit out there just to keep that end of season engagement for the happy horseshit portion of the fan base who buys this fucking garbage. And you know the worst part? If you didn't catch the show I did with Boomer Friday, he was laying some crumbs down, and I'm getting the same thing. He's right. The Giants do not want to do a GM search because John Mara is battling cancer. And while there's a human element, separate it. I want to say this for people in the back. When you run a $10 billion company, I can root for you to beat cancer and live a happy life. The man is only 71. Hopefully he's got a lot of years left. You do not get to upend a $10 billion company. And what the Giants do, they don't want to do a big search. Fuck you. Are you kidding me? But again, they're a horseshit franchise. So here we are. And they fucked themselves out of a pick again. And now the best part, even if they were sitting second, there's two big QBs in the draft. You could put somebody over a barrel, get a couple of picks, move your build forward. Now, gone.
You know who one of the teams you would have put over a barrel would have been?
The Jets.
So you don't know this, but I did a show earlier with Rico Beard, and he shows me the texts you were sending him during the Giants game. And I said, we can't read any of these over the radio. But Mike will be able to talk about it later tonight on the Sunday show.
I honestly did say to you and Rico, I said, honestly, if I could pull like a Trump and get like a couple of helicopters over MetLife to pull executives out of the suite and jail them for this offense, I would do it. Pull them. Let's pull a Maduro. Let's just go get them out of the suite, put them up a zip line, right up to the sky, and we're going to jail you. And we're going to try you in the Southern District of New York for football crimes. Stop doing this shit. You've been egregiously bad all year. What'd they do? Pop some Cialis for New Year's and it didn't go away after 6 hours? So, hey, let's go fuck up our franchise.
I'm just proud of the guys for fighting to the finish line.
I hate you. I hate that. Don't you find that to be? They were doing that shit during the Lions game today. Guys, can it? Because you know what? If the Lions played like they played today, they would have beaten the Steelers or beaten the Vikings at least once. Okay, go away.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask a bonus one here.
Okay.
Because you and I, with Cash the Ticket, are spiteful people. Who are you looking forward to betting against the most next weekend?
Okay.
There's so many options. I hate so many of these teams.
Some of this is going to be matchup dependent. And I know it's all getting set as we go here, but can I just spotlight the Bears for a minute?
Sure.
Plus 22 or 23 in the turnovers. They forced more than 30 for the season. Wholly unsustainable.
Yes.
Mike, they flashed a stat today. They won 6 games trailing in the final 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I will gladly fade that team come playoff time.
The one thing, now tell me if this is true. Are they locked into playing the Packers next week?
Yes, I believe now if the Eagle game is final, a team that they played tight twice, Green Bay.
You're going to pull a Maduro and try to arrest both quarterbacks. You hate both these guys. Jim's going to be in a helicopter.
My choices are to bet on horseshoe up the ass Bears or Jordan Love.
Yeah,
I don't know if
you want to jail both those quarterbacks. You can't stand either one.
Go to a different flawed football team. Then who would you say?
I think Jacksonville's one of those. I think Jacksonville's an interesting version of the Bears.
They could get popped. They're like the Bears, turnover dependent. They got the Bills for the first game. I think
that might be the one.
Yeah,
that might be the one. I could see Trevor Lawrence throwing me 2 interceptions, Josh Allen going Superman mode. But it was just a fun question.
But to your point, before we move on, we could have made a case for the Eagles, who offense has been MIA all season. I know, hey, heart of a champ, win ugly, but all it takes is one bad quarter, one bad half, and your season's done. And they've played with fire a lot this year. We mentioned the 1 seed, Sam Darnold in Seattle. Team's good, but if he lays an egg, your season ends early.
Maybe the easiest answer is Carolina.
Well, yeah, of course, losing record. They're gonna be dogs in the first playoff game.
Here's your problem: you're not gonna get some value out of it. Like the Bills and Jags could be damn near pick 'em.
No,
Like I could see Carolina catching 7.
and we just got done saying your 1-2 seeds in the AFC are still very inexperienced and could easily get toppled. There's so many teams that you'd look to and go, I just don't trust them.
Yeah, Lions picked a good year to tank because it's the most wide open it's been. Nice job, fellas. All right, word from the sponsors. Then I have critical offseason questions for every game that was meaningless today but won't be tomorrow. We'll explain. We'll do it next. Evan?
All right, tell you about KG Law. Someone you care about's injured in a car accident, you need KG Law. Lawrence KG and KG Law specialize in car accidents. You're going to get that personal attention to detail from someone who cares about you. Let me tell you about Lawrence KG. He's a Detroiter. He's a down-to-earth dude, and he's someone you want in your corner. He built his business doing things the right way and delivering for his clients. KG Law's won millions of dollars, 98% success rate. Check him out, 877-KG-CARES. It's right there on the screen, K-A-J-Y, KGCares.com.
All right, let's get to the rundown brought to you by Hungry Howie. So for each game that you don't care about, we have an offseason question that'll get you thinking a little bit. Eagles, Commanders, who won? Don't care, doesn't matter. Eagles wore the Kelly Greens and started Tanner McKee from Stanford. But Eagles should wear the uniforms full time. But here's my Washington question. Were they a one-hit wonder? They had the miracle last year. Daniels gets hurt a bunch, but it's the oldest team in the league, the oldest defense in the league. They got a couple of bad contracts and a quarterback that's brittle. Any thought to maybe they were a little flash in the pan?
Yeah, I'd buy it. Absolutely. They had lightning in a bottle with the last place schedule and a dynamite quarterback who's since taken some lumps and the defense got older. Yeah, I'd say so.
Also, Jim is foreshadowing. He's passionate about scheduling. We're going to talk about it later. Vikings 16, Packers, I'm considering it a 0. They had like 60 total yards and started the garbage man from like the county next door. But Vikings, reports before the game, they're going to add a veteran QB to the mix.
Have to.
Well, that doesn't sound like Mac Jones, which I would like to manifest. But
Wait, he's a vet now, right?
Yeah, but he's a starter. I think with what he showed, it's the next Baker Mayfield or the next Sam Darnold. I think he's a starter.
So why doesn't that make sense for Minnesota?
Well, it's clear they don't want to usurp or just throw JJ in the garbage per the report. I'm with you, but if there's a quarterback,
JJ's going to usurp himself. He threatens to get Wally pipped every other game.
But he's number 9.
And if it wasn't Brosmer, he might have already been Wally pipped.
Can I ask you a question though? Is this a Malik Willis spot?
Yes. This is one of the spots that would make sense for Malik Willis.
You go, what do you think? 12. The problem is Willis is not going to sit if somebody comes calling.
And that's why last week we laid out 5 different gigs. All it takes is one that says
so who's the veteran? Who's the vet the Vikings could get that is good enough if you need to make the move, but is inoffensive that you could go with the youth?
But hold on. So you're telling me I got to come up with someone that's not quite Mac Jones or Malik Willis?
Yeah, that's true.
What are we doing then?
Okay, bad job by me. All right, we'll go Texans, Colts. Here's mine. Colts went all in. Quarterback died and is largely dead forever. You don't have a first-round pick each of the next 2 years. What do the Colts do? Tell me how they form a winning team next year.
Well, isn't this the spot for the quarterbacks we just mentioned?
Yes.
Where there's no first rounder looming. They've decided Richardson's not the guy. It's an unfettered, easy runway for anybody to step into a QB-friendly offense, a team that was trending to be at the very least a playoff team. Yeah, it makes sense for one of those guys to land there. And at least that gets them off the mat and right back in the mix.
Okay, Rams, Cardinals. Rams win, blah, blah, blah. I want to know if this is sports radio hyperbole or just the way it is. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Blow up the whole fucking organization. Cardinals, top down, blow the whole fucking thing up. The president, GM, coach, quarterback, blow it up. Drive it out to Area 51 and detonate it. Or is that hyperbole?
Well, what's the case for Gannon to keep his job? Year 3-14 in his third season. He's 15-36 over 3 years. The case is what? He didn't have his quarterback. He stumped for Kyler when he took the job.
And he got rid of Kyler because I'm convinced they soft benched him or he quiet quit like the millennials like to do. I think you blow the whole thing up. And I don't know what you get for Kyler. Is Kyler a fix for somebody else? Look, we can laugh about that. There was a time when people laughed at Baker.
Yeah.
I still laugh at Darnold, but is he winning games?
Where's a Kyler spot real quick? There'll be a whole offseason. We may miss somebody, but what makes sense for them?
Okay.
Not the teams we've already mentioned, not the
Yeah,
Colts.
no, the Colts are really interesting to
Okay.
me because that could be a pathway for them. You would hand him an immense running game,
Yeah.
and you would hand him indoors,
Yes.
fast track, good O-line.
Open division.
Finances, I'm not sure, but here's the other thing. It's an AFC team. They would move him out of the NFC.
Yes.
I don't mind the Colts as a spot. I don't.
I could see that. I mean, yeah, sure. Why not?
Chiefs, Raiders. Raiders win 13-11. By the way, didn't know Shane Buechele was still in the league, former Texas QB, the night they beat Notre Dame like 8 years ago.
That's their fourth QB they used this year.
Where did Akeem Olajuwon go?
Well, he got hit a lot today. They got sacked over 7 times.
Poor guy go. But here's my question about the Raiders, and I'm dead serious about this. Playing in Vegas is a distinct problem for a lot of people, right? That if you're going to draft people to go to Vegas, you got a distinct problem. Is Fernando Mendoza the only uncorruptible, beautiful weirdo who could go to Vegas and not Sharon Moore himself?
Points for Sharon Mooring is a verb. And points for shouting out our wholesome king, Fernando Mendoza, who I'm convinced practices these post-game speeches in the mirror before the game.
Dude, he's such a weirdo. He's so weird.
But doesn't he come across like rehearsed? Like he comes across like
he comes across like Kirk Cousins' oddball nephew. That's I'm getting oddball Cousins vibes.
And I want to stress, like, wholesome. I got nothing against him. Seems lovely. He plays football at a high level, Mike. Sure, why not?
Yeah, a little too wholesome. Something, as we like to say on our show, something's wrong here. I can't. He's a weirdo, dude. But is he the perfect QB to go to Vegas?
Has he locked up himself as the number 1 pick in your eyes?
Yeah, I think so.
The only thing I would ask you is if he gets outdueled by Dante Moore next round of the college football playoff, could that change?
And you're right. The Raiders are a wild card, right? If they have a Hall of Famer staring them right in the face, they'll go out and draft Jamarcus Russell. So you're totally fair. Bills, Jets. A lot of noise in New York. You and I both like Aaron Glenn, but a lot of noise. He could be in some trouble. I don't know if it'll happen, but should Glenn be retained? My answer has been yes the whole year, but I wanted yours.
Well, 2 parts. Part 1, what do I think will happen? Yes, former player, he'll be given a second year. Should it happen, I think is actually worth a conversation, because if you make a quarterback decision, do you want to stunt that QB's development if Glenn isn't the guy a year from now? I think if you keep Aaron Glenn, you do it with the thought that it's going to be multiple years. Like, you're not at all rattled. If you're rattled though, and you're gonna throw Dante Moore or Ty Simpson or your second QB in this draft to a head coach who's not an offensive guy, and it goes south next year, you have thrown away several seasons making that gamble.
Yeah. Let's go Patriots, Dolphins. Tua. It's clear there's something between him and McDaniel. So here's my question. It seems like McDaniel's coming back, even though they don't have a GM. What do you do with Tua here? The only comp I would have for this is what the Broncos did with Russell Wilson. Yes. You just digest $110 million, but here's your problem. Then is McDaniel just a dead man walking next year?
Because what's the plan? You squat on that level of cap hit, which I think is viable. We've seen it. You do it when you have to. What is the product next year? Are they gonna win between 6 and 8 games and he's gonna get fired? And at that point, why not be a year early, proactive, and try to reset?
Because he's immovable based on the paperwork. I mean, at least Kyler, I could make a case.
But imagine
more there.
You do both. The new coach comes in. It's understood. Hey, year 1, we're paying dead cap on a QB who's not here.
Yeah.
Set your culture. We're cool if you lose double-digit games, and then you draft your quarterback and really start to get things going.
Well, so if that's the sensible thing, the Dolphins do the opposite.
Okay.
Jags, Titans, quickly. It's very simple. Can the Jags make the AFC title game?
Can, yes. Will, I don't expect them to.
Okay. All right. Word from the sponsors, and then we're going to get 2 solid minutes on Jim Costa on scheduling, and I'm turning my microphone off.
You're a prick.
Less is more, so right now, get a large round 1-topping pizza for just $7.99. Plus, every pizza gets flavored crust on us. Large original or thin crust, you do you for just $7.99. We do both.
Hungry?
Howdy.
All right. Moran Chevrolet brings us our Lions chat. 3, 2, 1.
You actually want me to do this to start? No, you're a jerk is what this is. I am not happy with how this season went. But in a group chat, I mentioned the benefits of a last place schedule, and you would have thought I had put a cape on and I was going to like defend the season or make this out to be something. No, Mike, a fourth place schedule in the NFL will give the Lions a little boost the way it gave the Bears a little boost or the Patriots a little boost. Could be 1 or 2 more wins next season. And if they get their act right, it positions them to make the playoffs. But it won't be enough if it's just running the same team back or they neglect the offensive and defensive lines again. But there is a clear advantage to playing a last place schedule, and it's why you see a team go worst to first every year. So yes, and a horrible, miserable, despicable season, the lone positive is, yes, you'll have a softer landing next year, a far easier schedule than they had this year. They'll play the Jets, they'll play the Giants, they'll play the Titans, they'll play the Cardinals, Saints, and the Raheem Morris-led Atlanta Falcons. Even if 1 or 2 of those have a bounce back, it's still a couple games in hand for the Lions. It's a better foot to start off on next season.
You still have 16 seconds. Would you like to cede your time?
Yes, I'll cede my time to the senator from New York.
Okay, I wanted you to get that out of your system. I don't feel as strongly about it as you, but it's not worth arguing about. It's fine. I want to talk about today. My notes here are very nuanced. Oh, so now you go zone heavy. Fuck you. Like, dude, your secondary's been dead for a month. Now you go zone and befuddle the Bears? You didn't run a single snap of man seemingly the first 3 quarters of the game? Now you do this? What the? Why? Jim, I get so frustrated by shit like that. That's all. Like, really, guys? Really?
Look, I would have rather them lost today for a couple spots of draft position.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted them to win, you prioritize the warm, fuzzy feeling for 24 hours. That's on you. I didn't have warm fuzzies today. That felt hollow to me, watching them jump out to a 16-0 lead in the game that could have been for something, but wasn't for anything.
No, I'd take it a step further. It's not hollow. I resent it. Like, once you're eliminated, don't come out here like Russell Crowe and Gladiator and think I'm going to be impressed, because it's just thumbs down for me. Oh, the celebrations, and we're playing a great game. Man, to hell with you. Where you been for 2 months?
Well, how about this? Like, look, that's you did it with your Giants. Culture builder. Guys, in Dan Campbell's second year, when they ended the season beating the Green Bay Packers, that was a culture builder. They had never made the playoffs. They had never won the division. The culture and the grit and the toughness eroded. The time to prove you were a tough, gritty football team was a month ago, was 2 weeks ago, was Christmas Day. So if you want to do, hey, we beat Ben Johnson's team's in the playoffs and won the NFC North. So I don't get any sort of like validation or satisfaction from showing up to the party late and having my season over.
The other thing too, just I don't even think it's an opinion. I think it's a fact. There is no such thing as momentum between seasons. I don't even think there's momentum between games. But the seasonal thing of, and if I had to, I'm not going to do a Scott Hansen rant. I won't. But between him, some of these announcers, this is a building block W. It's built in sand on the 53-man roster. 30 of the guys aren't going to be here next year. You're making shit up to make people feel better and engage with the product. You're nothing more than a carnival barker. Stop it.
That's why I said it's warm fuzzies today. You can't find it in your heart to root against your team, so you want them to win, and it's warm fuzzies because winning is better than losing. It's very simple. It's very basic. If it's how you feel, I'm not actually trying to shame you in any way, but big picture, there was nothing to be gained by winning this football game today.
No, I would have rather moved up a spot. But here's my last question. We're going to hear from Brad Holmes, presumably this week and early in the week. What do you think we're going to get attitudinally? Do you think we'll get a human being up there, or is this going to be the more of the arrogance, more of the smartest guy in the room, the receipts guy, the dress up guy, the we're good guy?
And that's just to connect the dots on this. Why do you need to move up a couple spots in the draft? Well, Brad struggled the last couple years in the draft, right? When you're not picking at the top 10 and you're picking in the bottom 10, it's a little harder. And it's by design. It's not supposed to be easy. This is the hard part. I would hope we get humility on some level. I would hope we get some level. I don't need him to apologize to people.
No.
And I don't need to see him come out and pour his soul or
nope.
But just an admission like, hey, our offensive line let us down. I've got to do a better job making us a better football team at the line of scrimmage. That is project A, B, and C. This football team needs to get back its identity, and we absolutely learned a lesson from this season.
Yeah, for me, I think it's something symptomatic in this town with the GMs, whether it's Iserman, Scott Harris. I leave Trajan Langdon alone based on he's been here 1 year. And the team's winning. I'll see what the deadline brings. But the other three, the smartest guy in the room thing for teams that have done absolutely nothing, it drives me crazy. Like, okay, look, Brad, you did your receipts thing, or you played dress up, or you did your villain sweatshirt.
That's the key. You did that after you victory lapped after you lost the NFC title game. So I got to see a much different presentation this time.
Yeah, I would like to see someone in that organization talk about the standard's the standard. We didn't hit it, and I have to be better. I have to do a better job of supplying this team with what it needs. Yep. Because I swear to God, if he goes up there and the word injuries comes out of his mouth, my head's going to fucking explode. It's absolute. I'll lose my mind. You can talk about injuries if it cost you winning the Super Bowl. The injuries do not afford what this season was. Hey, you want a reason why? Today, did your injuries get any fucking better? No,
you went out without your right tackle, without Aleem McNeil on defense.
Played a credible game today. Played your best game you played in 2 months against a team that needed it to get the 2 seed. Don't talk to me about injuries, because today invalidates that excuse.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, you're fine. The one thing I'd say, because you lumped in the other GMs in the town, Scott Harris and the Tigers had an hour-long press conference when their season ended. That included making the playoffs and winning a wild card series. And he came up and said the negativity around this team is earned. So whether you like the guy or the lack of offseason, that's a separate discussion. But there was a degree of, hey, I got to own some of this. Yeah, and I would hope we get the same.
We'll see. All right, we'll hear from Moran Chevrolet. We'll get into our C4 question of the week.
All right, let's get a word from Moran. We'll keep it moving. And that is the Red Tag sales event going on right now at Moran Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer. Whether it's elevating your tailgate, unless you're a Spartan fan, you've just given up, or whether it's just hauling gear, they got you covered. 26 Silverado 4x4 crew cab. You can lease it, $199 a month, zero due at signing. Silverado's perfect for hauling the big stuff. You need something a little more svelte, if you will. The Equinox LT, $199 a month with just $19.99 down. Moran, go to Moran Express. All your certified service, you get the free loaner as well, or stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price, period. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Well, and if you're local, by the way, I can't shout the place out. I'll just go ahead and tell you one of the finest sandwich shops in all of Metro Detroit resides near Moran Chevrolet in Clinton Township. New York level good Italian sandwiches. We'll move it on. It's an excuse to get service on your vehicle, even if you don't need service. Okay.
Check the tire pressure for me.
Yeah, check it again, Bobby. All right, C4 Energy question of the week. Jerome writes in, if you can do one move, just one move to fix the lines for next year, and you got to make it, what is it? Jim, you go
line.
First. But what specifically? Because I think there's a caveat to what you just said.
Okay, well, we both know what the caveat is. What's going to happen with Taylor Decker? But I want to stress to you. So he addressed the team before the game today. Normally Penei Sewell does, but Sewell was out. And he said that it's been like a honor or a privilege to play with these guys. Read into it what you will. I'm paraphrasing for him.
I said all last week, it's my belief him and Glasgow are both retiring.
Well, I think might not even be Glasgow's choice. I can't imagine they want him to run back at center. They tried to replace him multiple times this season. So, again, can Ratledge play center? No. Okay. Can Ragnow come back? No. Someone named Kingsley is going to play. He gets scooped up.
In a winner-take-all game, you played a practice squad guy while Glasgow was healthy enough to play.
Yeah.
And you thought enough of practice squad guy to try him, but not put him on the 53, and he's a Cleveland Brown this week.
So again, they tried to replace Graham. I think that's a given. The Decker thing, if he comes back, though, you can't get caught like they did with Ragnow.
No.
You still need to prioritize a tackle because you need to be a year ahead and not a year behind.
Oh, what about Mystery Man from Vancouver State, Manu?
Right. Like I said, you need to get a starting tackle for this football team and be a year ahead instead of a year behind. And now if Decker comes back, it doesn't have to be a first-round pick, but they do need to address tackle and probably more so guard because that's going to be guard or center because that's going to be a need no matter what.
Well, that was the interesting one. I did a deep dive, just having some fun and restructuring and doing some stuff. And you could create about $100 million in cap space if you wanted to. The first name, if you can get your hands on him, you go throw 22, 23 million at Tyler Linderbaum for Baltimore. He's going to be a free agent. They don't have money to keep him. That's an all-pro level center. And they don't grow on trees. And maybe you just overpay. I don't care. Somebody pays him 23, you pay him 24.
Yeah.
That could be the move too, because I don't know where you're finding this high-level center. I don't.
Yeah. What I don't want to do is convince myself that Ratledge long-term is going to be the center.
Yeah, no.
Because he was a guard in college, and many of the great centers in the NFL played center in college.
Yes.
And they saw one look at him in camp and said, nah, you're a guard. If they try to argue we're going to put him at center, that experiment blows up and everything is right back to where we are right now. So I wouldn't feel comfortable banking on a move where he plays center. Linderbaum is the number one free agent.
Yeah, and again, everyone will want him. Do you have look, Brad Holmes has to show he can land a big free agent. Don't give me DJ Reed.
And beyond that, you can't be saying, hey, I'm good. What I've got's good. What I've drafted is good. You need to not fall in love with your own, and you need to actually add and spend on some guys in the offseason.
The other would be this, just for the sake of saying something different than Jim, because Jim's spot bang on. I think you have to have a real look in the mirror conversation in that front office about Aleem McNeil and go, look, was it just him coming off a knee injury, or is this what he is? Because he sucked. And if you get rid of him, it's $24 million. If you keep him, that's fine. Tyleek flashed a little bit today.
Mm-hmm.
They need to upgrade that D-line because the front seven was primarily healthy down the stretch, and they sucked. So that would be move for me, Jerome. That would be my move. You know how I feel about defensive line. I'll spend and then spend more. It's more of more. You can't have enough of it. All right. Let's get a word from the sponsors, and then we have got to talk Sunday Night Football in a game that Jim has threatened better be awesome or else.
If you have a question for us, get to a participating 7-Eleven and look for the QR code at the C4 Energy display or on the cooler. Scan the QR code and ask the question for a list of participating 7-Eleven. Find the list and contest details at 971theticket.com. C4 Energy is the energy drink you need. 200 milligrams of good caffeine in the performance or 300 in the ultimate energy. And C4, it's not your traditional energy drink. It's next level, sugar-free, made for athletes. They don't fill it with junk. And C4 just rolled out their Jim Costa approved Jolly Rancher flavors. And they study everything. And a bunch of things I can't pronounce are in it, but it's all good. C4 Performance Energy or the Ultimate Energy at 7-Eleven. And remember, if you got a question, get to a 7-Eleven, find the QR code at the C4 Energy display today.
Okay, Sunday Night Football brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. You know the deal. It's winner take all. Ravens laying 3.5 on the road in Pittsburgh. Normally, I would just tell you it is Tomlin, home, desperate divisional dog. It's an auto play, yet I'm terrified that Baltimore's rolling in here and laying north of 3. I'm terrified without DK Metcalf with what I saw last week against the Browns. You get TJ Watt back. I could tell you what my plan is if I'm the Ravens, but I'll save that for a second. What's your opinion? I know we're probably going to end up on the Steelers. You feel like it's a 20-17 game, but I don't feel great about it. I'm terrified.
Okay, here's the problem. If you were a Baltimore fan, a Baltimore bettor, you got to tell me with certainty that you're going to remember Derrick Henry plays for your football team because week to week, it's a total mystery whether they remember they have him. They get inside the 10, they get inside the 5, they go a quarter, they go a half. Where's Derrick Henry? And he's the answer in this matchup because Lamar struggles against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Odd man front kills him. He can't process it.
Losing record, more interceptions than turnovers. Watt back is a huge feather in the cap of Tomlin. And I don't have it in front of me. I can pull it up if you're dying for the data. it's a huge swing for whoever the underdog is when these two coaches face one another. So of over a field goal, love back in the Steelers. The concern would be their offense has no explosives and there's no DK Metcalf. So whatever you do, if you bet this game, you're going to be gripping extra tight because it's not going to – I don't feel like it's going to be a gimme either way.
No, and I mean, look, the over-under is down to 40.5. I still lean under. No, my plan is, okay, TJ Watt's coming back after a, ho-hum, a partially collapsed lung. I'm not trying to be crass when I say this. Here's what we're going to do the first 3 plays of the game. I'm going to run right at his face.
Yep.
We're going to see how that lung feels. And I'm going to send Derrick Henry, and I'm going to send Ricard, and I don't give a damn. I'll pull all 5 linemen. You're going to show me you can stand up to this. We're going to do the annexation of Puerto Rico, like in the movie Little Giants. Yeah, we're going to run student body line. It's going to be Lombardi at the whiteboard. We're going to get a seal here. We're going to get a seal here. I want to find out early if I'm Baltimore, like, hey, are you prepared to stand in against this? Because if you're not, we're going to expose it.
But Mike, then I don't know, is he on a snap count? Pittsburgh could very easily use him in passing downs today and still have him be impactful. And Cam Hayward becomes that much more important on the inside.
Yes, agree. Totally. All right. So you're leaning Steelers under? Is that kind of where we're at?
Steelers in the under. Yeah, I'll play it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mess with the under if it goes below 40, but doesn't it feel like a 20-17 game?
Yeah.
Now watch, it'll be 38-35 or something.
Well, okay.
Utterly insane.
But shy of the Steelers getting to go against the Lions defense, they don't really move the football and score points.
No. And with no DK, it's just they do not. My problem with Aaron Rodgers, like I don't want to overly nerd out, but what the hell? It's our show. We'll do what we want. Even last week, everything was back shoulder. And it's like, Aaron, you don't have a 6'5", 235-pound, transformer. You have Calvin Austin or Scotty Miller. What are you doing? Everything's back shoulder. It's like, dude, DK's not here. You can't throw that. So I'm hoping, okay, the shock has worn off. Now we're going to have something better dialed up.
Hey, last thing on this. Coach that loses, chances they get fired.
Oh, I'd fire both of them. So for me, it doesn't matter.
No, but in reality.
Reality, I think John Harbaugh is more likely. You go on the road as a favorite, you lose this game, you're also at odds with your quarterback, and and plus, dude, the Steelers have had 4 coaches since, Woodrow Wilson was in office. So it just, you gotta show me a Steeler coach gets fired. I would say John Harbaugh, because I don't think he'll win a tug of war with Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah. Pittsburgh's proven you don't have to win playoff games to keep that job. That's a long overdue.
True. All right. So before we sign off, guys, I mean it. Listen, the autonomy I have to launch products and the blessing I have is I have wonderful people like Jim and Evan to do these things. I can't do these things without these guys. And we like working together. We can't do it without you guys. We really appreciate it. This kind of exceeded all expectations. It's something we wanted to do, tried. People kind of looked at us sideways, and that's where you just tell corporate, just get out of the way. You don't understand content. Just go over here. Thank you to our sponsors. Again, when the phone rings, you don't have to answer. You don't have to spend money, but people were excited for it, and we're like, okay, let's ride. Let's just do this thing. So 18 weeks in the can, man. I don't know where the hell it went, but that's the football show. Anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, I know we'll huddle up and debrief. But you guys have been great. I mean, this is something that we created out of thin air. It didn't exist before. The idea that you took some time on your Sunday
or the toilet
or the next day via
because I know the show lives socially. I know that's a big part of it.
But the idea that some people, and we do, Evan's given us the numbers. We have a pretty steady group of you guys that tune in every single week and have fun with us. So thank you.
No, and again, just a word, because I know you don't see Evan on camera. Evan doesn't get to do he deserves. Without Evan, we can't do this. He's a spinal cord of this deal. The production, the work that you guys don't see. Hey, Jim and I watching games and taking notes and presenting a show is one thing. But Evan with the videos and the audio and the uploads and the schedule, dude, it's there's no glitz or glamour in any of that. And Evan's a warhorse, man. We appreciate you, Ev. But that's it. That's the football show. 18 weeks in the can. This game better be good or else. All right, guys, enjoy your Sunday night. See ya.
As always, the preview is brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. It's your do-it-all solution for life's toughest messes. They've introduced Crocodile Cloth Grill, and that's what we wanted to talk about on the show. It's what you need if you love grilling. If you're going 365, you're going to want to pick this up. If not, stock up for when the weather gets nicer. These Crocodile Cloth grill cloths are the perfect addition to your game day tailgates, backyard grilling projects, all of it. Crocodile Cloths, grill cloths are made for grillers and the outdoor entertainers. They're tough cloths. They're big, 10-inch by 15-inch. They stay wet a long time, and they're going to power through sticky baked-on grease and food. Crocodile Cloth Grill can clean your cooler, your outdoor furniture, and everything that gets messy at the tailgate. So go to crocodilecloth.com/football show for a tailgate bundle and a free gift. As they say at Crocodile Cloth, go ahead,